Okay, so here we are. Now the euro dollar kind of fell out of bed there, and right now, structurally speaking, if you look at the floor, so to speak, on the 4-hour wick. Now this was when the news came out. Now this is the FOMC wick. That looks interesting. So here's where you're supposed to buy. Now, if you would have bought all the way down, then you would have got stopped out on some of that. Here was the first dead cat bounce scalp off the 4-hour. So, that's why trading's difficult with indicators, because you're just never going to be able to get these entries with indicators. This is telling you where to trade, actually. This goes far beyond indicators because what you're going to do here is if you did buy here, you had a cash out there on something. If you bought all the way into this blue, then that was a good scalp. But this is about 3 o'clock in the morning. At that point, you had to say, I'll take that profit and run. And then I throw limits in down here. Now, I was trading on this demo account. Well, this is the OAND account, which has completely random orders in it, by the way. I mean, as far as price levels. All I really did on here was just put in like, hey, you know what, just buy me. And they last all week long, so this is a low maintenance account. This is the United States FIFO brutality. So here, let's look at the platform here. Let's just look at the results. So here I'm up on this pound CAD, which I don't trade. I put a buy limit, and this could be the daily tickets. I'm not sure. Oh, I suspect it is because if it goes beyond 6K, it is a daily ticket. So that was a daily drop, and I just had them like looks like 20 pips apart. You can tell by the profits they're about 20 pips apart there. And pound USD. So the pound must have sold off into my. And when these guys, really, these guys that talk about, well, you overexpose yourself. Well, the whole point of this is we get in on the pound across all the pounds. See, no nonsense. He's just got his head up his ass. Well, don't want to overexpose yourself. No, overexposing yourself is getting in without a stop. That's overexposing yourself. So this is the floor on the. We're supposed to have sellers come in here and keep going down. So it's not quite happening for them. And I'm making money. This is about to take profits on this Australia cat. I'd never tried that in my life, but for some reason we got a fill there because the market went down to pick this up. The euro versus the pound. I think that's going to the moon eventually. That talk about trapped at a discount. So my losers are. Oh, they're all buys. Almost up $500 on that. Let's move on to the Bruiser demo. Now this account, I got into this account with I'm gonna put some buy limits in here. Oh shit. Okay, I wrote this thing called ICE, which is an Iceberg order. I didn't want to hit that. I'm so used to hitting the bottom of that rack. Here's what I want to do: is get in here for a pullback for 8 hours in the euro dollar, which I'm already into almost easily into $3 million of currency. But of course, some of this is on the. Okay, so I did something I don't normally do, which is I put up the euro versus the pound, the euro versus the yen, and the euro versus the dollar. And when they were plunging, I bought them all. Because I thought, well, the euro's getting clobbered across the board, therefore, logically, right? Okay, that's great, but the problem is that they're not all crashing at the same rate, and they're not all crashing in the same manner. So just like the euro is trapped underneath the floor, so is this, right? And of course, this um, moved pretty hard, which it doesn't normally move hard, but it's the same scenario. Same thing with the euro versus the yen. So I'm not. So that is it's oversizing that overexposure because it totally makes sense to get into these currencies. Same thing here. This did not plunge as much. I got some bizarre grid on here. Wait, let me throw up a different template. No, that's not going to help, is it? Right. Yeah, fuck it. Um. Anyways, here the same story. You're under here. Really going to go lower? I don't think so. So this is the 30-minute chart. So you're buying this trap, and then of course this is already engulfed this area, and now I would be buying this on limit pullbacks. But see, I'm really into this heavily, and it's kind of messing up my. I should probably just get out of this trade here because I don't really. It's not part of my thing. But see, my targets are up there, so I'm just gonna let it go because it's all about the euro. And I think the reason why the euro sold off that and I talked about this before. The end of the month. Okay, the end of the month is a big deal. If you go to the daily chart, you can see the end of the month there. And so here, Friday, bam, right? Friday, I'm sorry, just before. Actually, no, this is the wrong currency. Okay. And the euro dollar, which, it's the big deal. Most of the market is in the euro dollar. Oh, jeez, okay. Go to the daily chart. Okay. So here's Friday, right? Friday you close. Oh, jeez, where's the period separators? I can't see the beginning of the. I can't see the vertical lines on here, so it's weird. I got the wrong color combination or something. So you have to trust me on this one. Here, let me go. Let me go to this goober. You can see it on here. Okay, so here's the last day of the month. So notice the last day of the month, how vicious. Okay, this is because of bookkeeping. See the end of the month, the end of the month, right? Boom. So this is a new month. So see, they clear that, all that stuff's cleared out. I mean, that's a big turning point. So then we're here, boom. But now we're buying in anticipation of filling this hole up here. So we backfilled into that, just like we backfilled into that. We keep coming back to this pivot structure, so it's a huge buying opportunity. Kind of a gimme trade. Now, I think psychologically, if it went down here and you lost 1,000, or which I was down across all these currency pairs on the demo, I was down $7,000, $6,000, $7,000. It's a little hard psychologically to jump in and say, "Oh no, I'm going to buy here." No, you might have bought here thinking it's going to go here. Now you have to buy more than you've ever bought in your life right now, and this is the hard thing about trading is people are like, well, I don't know, man, because you know what, my indicators have turned down, and don't forget, no nonsense sold into that, and he's a professional vice president of prop trading, so you don't want to stand in the way of that fucking knowledge. Here, I'm going to put some buy limits in here on this thing since I'm sitting here. So I wrote a couple more. Here's the dailies. I think I got picked up. Here's the 8K. I'm going to put the 8K in here too. Yeah, see, that's not going to fill. Okay, dollar CAD. Apparently making money on that. So I think we got to fill it out. Here, I'm going to take this off. Looks like they're going to tank, so if there's anything on here, I'm going to take it off. Anything winning. Nope, not even in that thing. This looks like one to get out of. Nope, nothing in there. So, where they're not letting me out. No, that's right here. A little difficult there. I don't want to. Just trying to take out one instrument at a time. So, it looks like it's going to the moon. I think it's going after this hall. This peak, and this whole area here is the cell territory. So I put cell limits up there today. Actually, all week long. So I'm gonna rack a cell limit. So make sure there's nothing that's long. So I can. There, we just took some winter off the table there. Okay. Okay, I'm selling into that, and this one, I'm gonna sell to this too. Dollar Swiss. Okay, so the back to this drama. So that was the. I don't know why it's not showing up. The color combination is probably wrong, so you just can't see it. But let's delete the objects here. So yeah, this is gonna be really slow. There's so many tickets in here again. Tickets mania, and so the 4 hours. My first target is the wick. Is going to be. I'm sure there's going to be tons of sellers here. This is also the round number. So here was the scalp. If you bought here at the 20-yard line, you could have made 20 pips, and then here comes smash down, and people that sell here on a stop. Actually, I think it's better to run the trailing stop in the 4 hour. So you have a sell stop here, sell stop here. And of course, this is also the doji. In other words, is if you got sell limits running, you got picked up on this, and then this is 8 hours straight down practically. And this is the place that the sellers are supposed to come in, is right here. Let's see if I can get my trusty horizontal line going here. All right, so draw mode. So we're going to ride this thing into the. Okay, let me go to the. Okay, zoom out. Okay, so this is the space that we're. This is the low from FOMC. We're supposed to defend that. The next one to defend. In other words, sellers are supposed to come in there. Total failure. So last night, what I did was I loaded the fucking wagon below this wick. In fact, it was even below this one too. So here was the trap. Now, if you had your orders here, which it's hard to believe that you'd be filled that quickly. A lot of people aren't going to put their buy limits down here because they're like, we're never going back there. We're never going. If we go down there, it's going to take all week. Well, it only took 8 hours to drop almost 60. We'll drop about 60 pips here. Put 20 pip handles with the big round here. And another thing is just the buy stop guys are going long. So everybody's going long for a reason. The breakout people here, right? You have a buy stop here, a sell stop here. Oh, you're up 20 pips. There you go. A lot of people are going to be bailing here, but a lot of people are going to bail on the top of that. So I'll cash out into that. Then I come in with the buy limits underneath. So if they pull back like this, so this was a lot. I made a lot of money on this, like $2,000 on this, because here comes the news for another news event, and then we rip up, and then we drift to the end of the day, and here's Friday, and then just totally stalled out. There was a little bit of a trap up here. If you're into this selling new highs, you would have sold here, sold here, sold here. Here's your first scalp. Buyers come in, then wow, complete obliteration. But this is just a buying opportunity as far as I'm concerned. Here, I'll show you how this ice order, Iceberg I wrote, works in this situation. Of course, you have to pick the right depth. I got two tickets in there. I'll put them in. This broker's going to let me launch them. So, for instance, if I thought this is about to happen, I have some really deep. Okay, so this is the 20 pip and then the 40 pip banks. Now I'll put them both in. You can see where they come in. So if I thought that was going to happen, it wouldn't even matter. This is lasting for 8 hours on the 20 pip deep and 12 hours on the 40 to 65 pip deep. So this would have been a premium launching of this scenario-based situation. And inside this, watch this come in. This is a 14K every 2 pips. Here's the same 14K, and it's all the way down. Right, so if I would have launched that, and that's inside the ticket, let me just show you what's going to go on there profit-wise. So that's something that I didn't write the sell side for that, but you can only imagine if you would have run it here. And of course, that's just a swing trade commingled with. I'd be scalping around that. I'd also be trading around the whole thing. So in essence, what's going to happen here is 2 pips apart. The market comes down, fills the 40 pips deep. You're in. 40 pips all the way. In a perfect world, it comes down, and it did, all the way to 66 pips deep. When it retraces, by the way, the stop here is 74 to 87, and that is 1 pip apart. So it's a soft stop, 1 pip apart, and the stops start down here, 1 pip apart. If the market should retrace, this bottom ticket is going to take 16 pips off the table, right? Difference between these two. When it comes flying back, if the market comes all the way back to here, this is when you get filled on your first ticket, and actually the cash out above 40 is going to be all the way to 2 pips below where you're at when you drop that ticket. So here's the market cruising along. It drops 60 pips, retraces, and you are out of this whole thing. So in the United States, you could have this by 1, 2, 3, all the way to, I wouldn't do it. It's a lot of money. Of course, it'd be a lot of money if it won. But this, I mean, I would put these about 5 pips apart. If these United States, I put these about 10 pips apart or 5 pips apart, and I would, the size have to increase as it goes down. So that's something that I wrote that on the weekend because when the market's not open, I can write these harebrained scenarios and then just create the script. And of course, this is 1 click for 12 hours. You don't have to keep clicking. Of course, the market keeps dropping. With these hard-coded scripts, when the market keeps dropping, okay, as it's coming down, you would be coming in with these orders like this in a 20-pack, right? And it drop another 4 hours down, you drop the same script, and it's going to catch a falling knife, basically. Also, this is a superball that I tried just naming these so the scenarios built in. The superball script is I got this wrote this a long time ago. This idea, what it's going to do is it's designed for a complete engulf auction trade. So you're going to come down here. You're 10 pips apart. So 25 pips all the way to 75 pips. This would have worked out nice. And of course, you have a soft stop starting at, giving you plenty of room here. So you have 91 pips deep. You're about a 20 pip stop at the end of that. I mean, so you can retain this whole rack of tickets here. This is 1 pip apart, so at the very bottom ticket you're risking 25 pips. But of course here on the way back, you're only going to make 15. So the take profits end up being that uh, where your first entry there is going to be exiting um, with a profit. Well, this ticket's tied to this. So this will actually make the superball part comes from you throw a superball down. These dense rubber balls. It's going to bounce higher than it came in, so that first ticket is going to come. This is zero price. Go 25 pips. Go up 25 pips. And here, down 30, up 150, and on. So that's that. How often does that come up? Right now, this is going to last 12 hours because I'm not going to keep dropping this thing. I hate to keep double clicking and refreshing that. It's going to be stupid. So I'm trying to make I'm trying to get this account to $45,000 by the end of the week. Pretty much based on the retracement here. So I'm almost back. I'm only down about $800 on the account right now. So it's at $3,800. Huge drawdown. Trying to catch a falling knife on well, a lot of pairs here. Euro to the pound, which I'm in. So all these things are in here. And God, this thing's so slow you could die. I mean, it doesn't even respond. I'm clicking, it doesn't respond here. So let me just see what I got in the system here. And some British pound trade for some reason. Okay, what's the most profitable thing in here? Oh, we're about to take profits on this euro versus the pound, which is fine with me. Now that was all 1Ks, by the way. 30 standard lots, 1Ks. That's like 3,000 clicks there. More than that. So this is about to cash out, which that's fine with me because and see the swap. I don't know why people talk about the swap. Really, 4 cents. I'm up 30 pips on this, And I want to go back. Actually, I did name the superball trade. So look at the comments here. I did name these. You see the ice? These are the icebergs. Ice 8. And I don't think I dropped a superball. But here, let me drop a superball so you can see it. It's more fun to have names like, this way you have scalp bank and stuff like what's going to happen, right? It's one thing to buy an area. It's better to... I'm just going to launch it so you can see the comments. Okay, here's a super ball. Super deep. I just don't think we're going... Okay, we're coming up against... This is the euro versus the pound, by the way. There it is. So psychotic error. Now this would have been beautiful coverage for the sell-off today. A little anti-martingale at the end there. So here's the comments. Superball H12. So you can know what's going on, I suppose. You open the comments, you can see that stuff. Of course, the comments kind of can't... Well, when I turn the comments on here, no, you can still see it. You still see it flashing. Sometimes if you have a res set too big, you won't see the colors flashing when it's going to cash out because the comments is taking up the space. Okay, what else? Gold. Gold looks like it's falling out of the channel here. And it's not so much the channel. It's the hole left behind here. The looming void here. So a lot of people on the gold train. I hear ads on the radio, get gold, blah, 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 blah. Not for me. I'm not buying gold. So gold looks like it's doomed here. Looks like coming all the way back to here. think we're going to come all the way back to here and just really, everybody's going to be like, oh, they're manipulating the market again. They can't make any money. All right, we're going for a screaming move here on the, so we should be making some money here. I want to get this to $45,000. Yeah, get the hell out of this thing here. So let's take a look at the balance, see where we're going here. Oof. All right. So yeah, from here to here, this window here, this taking this top at the 100, and here, this is the sell window for me. And I'm not going to move any of my, that's one thing I haven't done is move any stops or take profits on this account. So yeah, we took a hit there, and of course that was buying all this stuff, and I also bought this one. I don't know. Look out. We're just gonna do a template here. God knows what's on there. Okay, that's what, the 4 hour. Okay, here's my take profits. Here's my stops. These are all just, a lot of these are market orders, double clicked. You can see here, you turn in the comments. Another thing is, you know, if you're not sure what you did, these are all market orders. And those are still underwater. Big stops. Those are 50 pip stops on these. So see, the limits are about to cash out, which is really good because that means that I actually put those orders in. I didn't have to babysit the market for that. I mean, I could just look at the tablet, double click limits, and put a bunch of limits in there. Now I'm up on these, about these at the market. Look how the limits are ready to cash out. A lot of market orders. So the limits, a lot of, I just sat there and, now this is because I could see, wow, look at the price. So I just kept frantically hitting the market orders. I made some money on that. So about to take profit. These are scalps. Pretty sure 20 pips right there, sitting there on Euro. So quite a bit of, here's some limits ready to cash out. Now I know this one this is one of those 8-hour tickets that I put in really deep. I gotta move my targets here on something. Okay. Okay, so we're just gonna keep rocketing up here. I think this is gonna be probably, in the end, a 60 pip retracement, and I think we're gonna take out the high of the last week, today or tomorrow. So the big money is in reversals, and when the market goes unfair and then it goes all the way back, engulfs and goes unfair on the top side. That's the biggest money ratios you'll ever make in these markets. Trust me. 10 years of watching this shit. When you see the market come down like this and everybody's like bearish, okay, here's dollar yen. You get in there, this thing engulfs, and you get out there, right? That's 200 pips in 1 week, okay? Comes back to structure here. You know, if you start selling above this and above this and above this and cash out to there, it's not a signal. It's just there. That's the trade. It's just sitting there. It's just hard to believe because all this focus on, well, what's your strategy and what is your indicators? And I mean, it's just completely harebrained, right? Let's see what we're doing here. Okay. All right. I'm going to have to add a little bit to this position. Just going to put some scalps in here. Okay. let me do this. Yeah, okay. Try to trade this thing. Okay, Coinex. Let me see if I can get some market orders in here real quick. So I'm just going to put scalps in now. Just try to make 11 pips. It's not much, but I just like, I want to keep. I want to keep my 30Ks, 30 standard lots going here. $6,000 a margin. So I have no problem clicking, to make money, honestly, compared to digging a ditch. Okay, so let's just get like some 14 pippers here. So last night when the market was down here in Asia, I'm like clicking the shit out. I must have clicked about. I must have put in another 500K when I was last night. So I just want to pad the account with these scalps. So as we go up, we can cash out and we free up margin and we just, we make some money along the way here. I do think it's going to take out this high by the end of the week. There's going to be a lot of people selling here. You got to know that. So you could sell here for a move to here, but I'm probably going to ride this thing until we take out the high of that last month there. And I'll be, like I said, when we come to here, whatever I'm cashed out on, see I'm cashing out along the way, I'm going to just come in with the, I'd probably run that 20 pip deep. But if I wrote a 10 pip iceberg, it would be just like a slot like this. In iceberg thing is what you're doing to do is you really, the ticket is designed to just buy a ton of shit here. Soft stop and then cash outs here. Or kind of cash out there and it just takes like in this situation a 20 pip. You'd only fill the top of that and then zoom. But since the broker's letting me almost trade, as far as I must say that this broker probably doesn't have a limit on tickets. Jesus, I put so many tickets in here. I just haven't reached the limit yet. It never refused an order, although it's very slow at execution now because of the all these tickets in here. So I won't always get it filled because it's a platform issue. Like, okay, so here, where are we at? Okay, now I'm going to delete the objects. And I just trade the euro dollar. I mean, like, I could trade all these currencies, but it's not efficient because you could say, well, look at this thing, man. This thing's going to be a beautiful retrace situation. And, this is going to possibly take out the high. This is also knocking on heaven's door here to the north side. But why bother, The spread's not as good here. Sure, you could trade this thing, but in fear of missing out, why do you think they trade 28 pairs over it? No nonsense. Fear of missing out. Why are they trading oil and metals now? Fear of missing out. Like, some guy made a comment about trading crude oil, and if you go look at the chart, any chart in the world, you're just going to buy down here and you're going to sell up here, right? Now, as far as how many tickets you're going to put in, and why you trading crude oil, right? I don't know. The guy, maybe he's got a seat on the exchange, but crude oil, all these things people want to trade. Oh, I'd like to trade silver. Oh, look at the silver market. Dude, this is like, just fuck the girl you're with. I mean, for me, euro dollar. Oh, look at her. Look at the waitress. Yeah, dude. So, yeah, fear of missing out is going to make you. I don't know. I mean, I guess people are doing it. It's not going to be me. It's not me. Like, I see the euro dollar and I'm like, look at all these. I could just build a whole trade plan. I have to look at one thing a day. I got one thing to look at. I know exactly what's going on. All the time I look at the price, 110.80. Somebody asked me today, was explaining a trade uh, for trade euro dollar. He asked me, "What's the euro dollar going for?" And I didn't know because I don't really look. I just look at it. We're going up 20 pips. We're going down 20 pips. We're going up 50. I'm not actually not know the price. 110.88 supposedly. 110. And then these people, when I was explaining it, these people are like, "Oh yeah, euro used to be like one. Yeah, it used to be like 5 years ago, dude. I'm only trying to make like 20 pips. That's a 20th of a penny." But I know these people talk like this is stock. Oh yeah, Microsoft used to be $5. Right? Okay, I got you. Okay, I'm gonna buy some euro here for the scalps because we consolidated at the top of the. Could go to the 5-minute chart here. Oh gee, that didn't work out too good. Now we got this. Stretch this out. So okay, and then I want to condense a little bit to make it look congested. Oh. There you go. So consolidated. Oh, it's sideways market. So we're waiting for it to break out to the upside again for another run. And it's 4:30. It's 4:40 in the morning here. So coming into that U.S. Open, and stocks will sell off, and the euro will go up, and we all see this. So here I'm buying this flag here, and I'm not going to put a buy stop at the top of that. I'm going to assume we're going up, so I'm just going to buy that with all the confirmation of a goober. I want to get it before that goes up. So I had to do my real money first. Should have bought here. Like if I was gonna just buy in pullbacks on the 5-minute, comes back buy, comes back buy. I shouldn't be buying here, but I'm just gonna do it. At least I'm getting in just before the goober. So now a goober might put his buy stop here. Watch some guy show how to trade a trend. Well, he put a buy stop here. Look at the buy stop here. Look at. Okay, you know what? That's fine. Amateur. They should say amateur forex course. How to trade like an amateur. Mastering forex. I like that. Just because you say mastering doesn't mean you're mastering it. Okay. Well, I took in the guy the guy in the chat room with the mastering. That's what the Anton Creels is called. Mastering forex trading. How about shut up? We don't even. I mean, really. And how are these people doing it? Who are these people? Giving courses. How to make $1 million trading. Start with 2 million. That's what their course is. All right, we're back to where we started. 38. Back to Friday's balance here. $38,000 from $2,000. Now, when the market was crashing, I knew I had enough gunpowder to sustain that sell-off. And there was a couple actually scalps in there. Believe it or not, we did make some money on the dead cat bounces within there because I did have targets set to like 2 to 10 to 20 pips in that. And that just made it to be less brutal. Now, I didn't run any sell stops or any hedges. I could have run sell stops into that, but I don't have the sell stops set up. And, of course, you may have a trade plan, but you still got to be able to get to it. So most people that trade these markets, I figure they're not prepared for certain scenarios. They're like, well, I don't have anything for that. I don't have anything for that. Because everything's built upon maybe their moving average, and they're looking to get in with so-and-so stop. They're looking for a certain setup, and they're babysitting the market, and they're like, okay. And they might have scalped this thing here, and they might have made $100 or $400 or whatever on this little move here, and they're done for the day. That's great, but that's not me. I want to fucking see if I can take this account from $2,000 to $100,000 by the end of the year. And it's all with one case, which is it's certainly going to soften the losses and kind of soften the profits. But that's what I want to do. I don't want to do this silly stuff that people are doing. It's just silly. You know, you watch them, you go, really? So let me guess. No nonsense. I should go to the forum right now. I bet somebody sold into this. I got confirmation. Don't forget the euro dollar's in a long-term downtrend. And if they sold yesterday, right? They sold into that. Okay, good. That sounds like a great idea. Well, we got confirmation. There was some guy that did go long here. I don't know how he feels because, you know, I think he probably went long here, right? There was in no nonsense. He went long here, and he was like, "I like the trade," and then bam, and then he's like, "Well, what? I'm not getting a signal now." And the funniest thing about the no nonsense forum, which this guy has just polluted people's brains with all the fears and all the no nonsense guy saying stuff like, well, and then the people in the forum have all picked up the Discord have all picked up all of these insane traits like can't trade today. There's news. Can't trade today. My ATR doesn't match up with my horoscope, and I can't trade today because, well, I'm just not. And these poor people could barely get to their platform as it is. So, end of the day traders. I mean, so they can't take advantage of the 4-hour chart or nothing. And it's oh, we're gonna do this trade, we're gonna do that trade, and great. I don't even know, because still back testing. You got to forward test it. You got to open strategy test it. You got to walk this thing forward and see. Oh, would I take that signal right now? It's a back testing is just to prove to yourself. Oh, would that work? Of course, as you can see on this chart, there is no algo for this data, especially these wicks. Like, what are you doing about this? Is that part of your algo? Well, it is for me because if I see that thing, if I see this price down here, and I put an iceberg order in there, and I scalp out, and I'm like, that was a great trade. Anyways, that's where we're at. We're trying to get to 45,000 by the end of the week on this account. And stranger shit's happened. I think that by the end of the week, we're going to be banging on this top here. It seems inconceivable, but you would have said the same thing from here. The buyers would come in and be able to rip that up 80 pips, down 80. So this is what Wyckoff calls reaccumulation. So this is and we're gonna mark it up again. Otherwise, we have to reject some price up here and then spill down in this void. That's the other scenario. So either one's possible. Let's see. Now put buy limits in now. I'll catch a falling knife here. Okay, so I'm going to buy 3 pips deep. So if they stop me out, this is another thing. I don't have one. Since I'm not trading one ticket, I'm not trading standard lots, I can come in like this. And so maybe they stop me out of my 3 pip thing. It doesn't even affect. It's just they're talking about $1 or $2 or 80 cents. Okay, 80 cents risk. Can you risk 80 cents? Do it 10 times, it's $8. Do it 100 times, it's $80. Okay, so go to the the whole power of the system is that you just have so many tickets that you really just. I'll wait for this to update the data here. I'm going to put in the buy limits now. Trailing buy limits in a super tight pack here. 8 hours. Just like that. And that's that.